Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is. Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Derek Yali, and I'm playing host tonight. And I'm joined by my co-host, Mr. David Tucker. Mr. David Tucker, welcome to yet another episode of the
Thank you,
Hard
Derek.
I'm going to agree with you on the role of the media in pushing for debate.
They're kind of snuck it in there, desperate oriented. Is that being desperate to aspire to greatness?
To say to us right now, everybody gets calendar in their closet.
The duty of their office.
Who's supposed to determine whether
They are competent. You can't tell me all.
This guy is really a deal.
Of all the stuff that we have done, Mr. We are just one tonight, you on the opposite side.
What is the patriotic thing in you being like behind this?
30 seconds.
We don't simply audit for the heck of auditing. You audit, and where the evidence leads, you follow.
Liberian politics is a type of politics.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you're joining us from. Let me say thank you so much for joining us here on the Liberia Radio and Television Network. This is the first time joining us. The Liberia Radio and Television Network, or LRTN for short, is a local media institution right here in Northeast Philadelphia. And tonight, my name is Derek Yale, and I'm joined by my co-host, Mr. David N. Takwe. And the Liberia Radio and Television Network is proud tonight to present to you episode 5, season 5 of the Hard Zone. And again, if this is your first time joining us, the Hard Zone is an opinion-based or talk show where we feature a team of panelists from different political institutions, different political persuasions, and here on the Hard Zone, we try as much as we can to keep our conversation or educational as possible. And just by way of disclaimer, the opinion and positions that will be offered on this episode and every other episode is that of the panelists that will be offering them, and not the official position of the network. With that being said, I would like to encourage all of you now at this point to please do us a favor and share this program on your Facebook page, and also make sure you follow us as well. So share this program with your friends and family, and also have them to follow the Liberia Radio and Television Network. With that being said, we have a lot in store for you tonight. I will just give you a heads up on what to expect on this episode. As always, we will bring you our current event from our current event folder in Liberia and the diaspora. And tonight we have a special guest to talk to us about our youth entrepreneur booth camp. So we will have that right after our current event, and we will get into conversations on the activities of the new administration, that is President Joseph Newman Boakai administration. There has been a lot of stuff going on. So we learned in the last 72 hours, he has declared his assets, got just tested. He has also mandated the auditing of some key government institutions, and also he made additional appointments. So we will introduce our guests, our panelists later on the show, and then we'll have our discussion surrounding that. And right after that, we will bring you our icebreaker, and then we will give the panelists the opportunity to close on this episode. With that being said, again, my name is Derek Galley, and I'm playing host tonight. I'm joined by my co-host, Mr. David N. Takwe. We have a special guest tonight to talk to us about youth booth camp, entrepreneur booth camp. So stay tuned for that. Before I go over to my co-host, Mr. David N. Takwe, again, let me encourage all of you to share this program on your social media page, and also make sure that you're following us. The network is the Liberia Radio and Television Network, or LRTN for short. You can also find us on YouTube, and we We just published our website to the point. We just published our website recently. That is lrtn.net. So all of the updates we'll share here with you and some of our news articles you can find on that website. With that being said, let me go over to my co-host, Mr. Tagbe. Welcome to another episode of the Hazon.
Thank you, Derek, and good evening, everyone.
Yes, good evening to all of you, wherever you're watching us from. This is the Liberia Radio and Television Network presenting to you episode 5, season 5 of the Hazon. I'm playing host tonight. My name is Derek Yale, and I'm joined by my co-host, Mr. David Ntakbe. Just one more time, I can't stress this enough. We have a lot in store for you tonight. All we ask of you is to please share this program and also make sure you're following this network. And as promised, we have our current events. Now, let me go over to you, Mr. Tagbe. You can give us the current event from the current event folder in Liberia. Mr. Tagbe.
Yeah, thank you, Derek. And Derek, as you speak, Mosquito County Senator Sir Joseph is at the hospital, the St. Joseph Catholic Hospital. I don't know whether he has been transferred to another hospital, but he was in the emergency room of the Catholic Hospital. That happened. He got to the Catholic Hospital after he was spared off there, following a fire that broke out at his house. The cause of the fire is still being investigated up to the time of the Hazon. And so now, I don't know what his condition is. Not that he was burned in a fire, but I understand he went up conscious, perhaps as a result of the smoke, but there hasn't been an official report about how he is faring now. Another thing, Joseph Boakai, after so many public pressure and talk, Joseph Boakai today declares access. In fact, he made a declaration at the headquarters of the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission in Concord Town. And he did that in compliance with the code of conduct that demands that all officials of government upon appointment declare their assets so that the public can know what you have before coming into public service. So with that, in compliance of the code of conduct, Joseph Boakai declared assets. There's so many other officials of government have already declared their assets, and Joseph Boakai has also followed suit. And so, but those assets they've declared have not been made public yet because as part of the code of conduct, they need to publish their code of their assets in some of the local dailies so the public can have an idea as to what they have accrued over the years before coming to public service. David actually mentioned earlier, Joseph Boakai is still making appointments in government. And lately, just yesterday, Joseph Boakai made some new appointments to NOCAL, the National Oil Company of Liberia. Mo Ali is also appointed to the Liberia Water and Soil Corporation at the National Oil Company. I know of Imaya Zango, the first vice president on finances or financial affairs, and other many appointments that Joseph Boakai has made so far. So the fact that people expectations are high, or people are curious to know who Joseph Boakai would appoint in his government, people on a daily basis are visiting the Executive Mansion website and going to the newspaper stands to see who I appointed the night before or early morning. And so people are curious to know what have been appointed. Some of his appointed officials have already been confirmed. Derek, in recent time, the Liberian Senate confirmed Amin Modad was sent to the Commerce Ministry to serve there as Minister Proper. The Liberian Senate also confirmed Police Inspector General Designate Coleman. The Senate has also confirmed Abraham Crowman as the head of the Liberia Drugs Enforcement Agency, DEA. So these gentlemen have already started work, and there are more appointments pending. Derek?
Thank you very much, David, and as always for your splendid reporting on the current event coming out of Liberia. And just to transition over to the diaspora, we only have two current events in our current event folder, and one starting with the AFCON. So, as we know, the Super Eagles of Nigeria will be taking on the Elephants of La Cote d'Ivoire or Ivory Coast in the African Cup of Nations Fanda, which is scheduled for Sunday or this week. So you can prepare yourself to see that match between Ivory Coast and Nigeria. And also on the third place, we'll have Cape Verde against South Africa. So that's one of the development we have for you in the current event folder from the diaspora. And the next development is somewhat in Africa. So already on edge from months of political tension, Senegal became unstable last week when President Macky Sall unilaterally delayed presidential elections scheduled for the 25th of this month by several months, just hours before campaigning was set to begin. Protests erupted across the country as a result, where police used tear gas on demonstrators outside the National Assembly. And opposition members who attempted to obstruct a bill that would have further delayed that process were arrested. Many Senegalese see the delay as Sal's attempt to prolong his tenure in government. Just by way of information, he has been in office since 2012 and is therefore ineligible to seek for re-election on his own. In an effort to get the delay reversed, the opposition parties filed a lawsuit. In wake of this development, in a statement late on Tuesday, ECOWAS cautioned Senegal against jeopardizing peace and stability during difficult times for West Africa, but it was unclear what the bloc would do if President Sall defied its warning. Furthermore, in an emergency talk held earlier in Abuja, Nigeria, ECOWAS has urged Senegal, one of its most stable member states, to return to its elections timetable, but critics have already questioned the group's sway over increasingly defiant member states. For more on that development, you can visit the Al Jazeera page to get more information on that development. With that being said, and before I invite our guests for this episode on, I would like to again encourage all of you to please share this program on your Facebook page and make sure you're following this network, that is the Liberia Radio and Television Network. At this junction, I would like to now invite our guest on the screen to talk to us about our youth entrepreneur. Let me get the youth entrepreneur booth camp.
Yeah.
I'm sorry?
Youth entrepreneur.
Yes, youth entrepreneur booth camp. So again, welcome to the Liberia Radio and Television Network. Welcome. It's your debut episode, Mr. Eugene Cambia. It's a pleasure to have you here. Let me not give you the opportunity, but welcome to the Liberia Radio and Television Network.
Thank you. So I want to start by saying, first of all, I appreciate this. I appreciate the opportunity to talk here and abroad, right? The world is much smaller now through the internet. But I want to start this by saying I'm a certified business coach. I work with people who are looking to start a business. I'm hired by LA21, Community College of Philadelphia, Power Up, USDA. And what I will do is I work with people who have an idea and they're not sure how to get a business started, or they have a business and it's not generating any money. So I coach them. I started my own business right after the pandemic because my business was impacted by the pandemic. But I spent over 30 years working in Harlem building organizations. So I want to start with this. The United States, there is $1 trillion in funding, and we only make up 4% of the population applying for this money. That includes government contractors, that includes foundations, that includes angel investing. So for a long time, I have been working with adults, trying to help them understand how they could build their companies and apply for money. And then we realized we are leaving young people out of the game. And this is a very talented generation. So what we thought, why not start offering business coaching to high school students They are very entrepreneurial. They have a lot of bright ideas. So this summer, the New York City Department of Probation asked us to come in and run a pilot program. Come in and run a pilot program for 6 weeks, work with out-of-school youth who need some training around the career path, but also help them understand about what it takes to have a business. Hey, whatever your hustle is, your walking dogs, your babysitting, let's turn it into a business. Working with LA21, they approached me this summer and they said, would you come in and work with some youth on for half a day on a pilot program? So where we're at now is, this is what I see as the first start of making a commitment to working with young people. And so tomorrow we are going to have a youth boot camp for about 3 hours. We're going to talk about what does it mean to be an entrepreneur. We want them to understand, we're going to give them some tools to even look at creating a mock business. It's amazing. So many things that you can do working from home. For example, I know nothing about social media. I have to always go to young people to help me. I don't know about Twitter, this or that, but you could make that a business. If your niece and nephew, you're calling them saying, can you help me? They could make this a business. So the bottom line is, what we want is, we want them to start thinking about that $1 trillion. And we are only 4% of people of color apply for that. And another thing, for women, only 1%. And so we've got to get into the game. And so why not start with young people? And so tomorrow we're going to be at Victory Harvest Church. We're going to be there from 12 to 4, and this is going to be hands-on. And what we're looking for is, depending on what the interest is, we may then take this and make this a year-long program for high school youth in Philadelphia.
Thank you, Mr. Kembia. And before I ask you a question, let me first recognize the presence of Bishop Cephas Reeves. Bishop Reeves, welcome to another episode of The Hard Zone.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
Thank you. Well, guys, we have just a couple of minutes with Mr. Kembia, but let me start this up. Now, on the flyer here, it says ages 14 and up. Does it have like a limit, or you just take anyone that's above 18 or above 14?
So this is what we would like. We would like high school students, but we thought, since this is a boot camp, let's keep it open. But ideally, what we wanted was high school students between 14 and 18. Okay, but somebody's 19, somebody's 20. So we are going to engage whoever is here. And I could probably even give them some direction, because when you think about the Women's Opportunity Resource Center, when you think about the Power Program, when you think about LA21, there are a number of free programs that adults can go to get business coaching. But in the end, we just thought it would be good to keep it open to the family.
All right, David or Bishop Reeves, do you have any question before?
My question is,
David,
it's a good idea. Yeah.
Okay, let's hear from you first. Go ahead.
Okay, Bishop Reeves, go ahead.
No. I recognize you. You can go ahead, David.
Oh, okay, recognize me. It's a good thing, and it's a window of opportunity that you are opening for young people. We're talking about young people in entrepreneurship. The question that came to my mind, Mr. Campbell, is at their early ages of 14, 15, 16, 18, or 20, do they have that intellectual capacity to be able to manage a business?
Well, I'm gonna say,
even start a business on their own.
Okay, so I'm gonna tell you two things. We would like to go to junior high school, but we got to start somewhere. But the other thing is that this program is entrepreneur and leadership. I don't care if they don't open a business, but what I hope, they will develop some skill sets that they could use at a job. So they're going to understand customer service. They'll understand inventory. So if they say, well, hey, I don't want to do that. So what we're hoping is that You take these skill sets and they make them transferable. My major in school was history. This don't look like history, but I took a lot of those skill sets. I took some of the things I learned and I make them transferable. But your question is important. So one of the challenges we have is young people understanding you have to show up on time. You have to be prepared. You have to dress well. When you're an entrepreneur, everything about you makes the first impression, right? You walk into the store and none of the young people, I shouldn't blame just young people, but none of the people greet you and say, Mr. David, can I help you? That's the kind of things that we want to talk about. But if they don't open the business, but they look for a job, they'll understand. So it is an entrepreneur and leadership. And one of the reasons why we wanted to do this, because we understand there's a lot of things, a lot of challenges right now with young people in Philadelphia. And instead of running away from them, I think we should run to them and see how we can help. And the last thing I want to say to your question, which is very important, maybe there's people who don't fit in this program, then we'll refer them to maybe another program that is better for them. Sometimes I'm working with somebody and they ask me to coach them on the business. And I got to say, at some point, I got to say, you need to go get a job, because you are not ready to run a business. And we wind up now talking about resumes and how do I find a job? Because sometimes people want to start a business because they're desperate, right? They lost their job and you know what? Let me just go start a business. They really don't want to, but they're just thinking that's something that they want to look at. I work with a lot of businesses that have been open for 5 years and never generated any revenue. So, but to go back to your question, that's a very important question. That's why it's entrepreneurship and leadership. But our main thing is we want to want those transferable. We'll hope that this is a spark saying to them, you need to show up to school on time. You need to take math serious. You need to take science serious. So now no young person at 14 is going to be able to go to the state and legally open up a business, but we just want them to understand.
Okay, Derek, before let me ask the other question. Mr. Campbell,
Let's get Bishop Reeves' question for you, and then you can do your next question.
Okay. Can he? Okay. All right. Hello.
I'm not hearing Bishop Reeves. I don't know why.
Bishop Reeves.
Are you hearing him?
Okay. So can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. So this program seems to be a very good program.
Derek, are you hearing Bishop Reeves?
Yes. Can you not hear him?
Okay. Yeah, I'm not hearing.
This program seems to be a very good program.
For some reason, I'm not hearing him.
Now.
Okay. I'm hearing him now.
I hear him.
My question to you, is this program limited to only Philadelphia? What about folks out there in Baltimore, Maryland, and they want to get involved in something like this? How would you advise them to go about that?
Okay, I don't want to be arrogant to assume that someone is not doing this. And let me just say, Bishop, I am in East Stroudsburg. I am not in Philadelphia. But because I work with a lot of businesses there, I got the call. So the reason I'm there is I put out the word and said, I need an organization that I will bring the programming and the staff. I need the young people in the place. It was the Librarian Association that responded. So I responded from the call to the agency that said we could help you. But I'm virtual. I can work anywhere. But I just want to make sure in our communities, Bishop, there's always a beginning and an end and not a middle, right? Somebody comes with a program and bang, the program's up and we're going to do this and that, and then it's gone, and then there's an end. So what I'm hoping to do is, let me get this right. This is just for me speaking. Let me get this right, because David asked a question. He says, what about older students? Well, maybe what I need to do is focus on 14 to 18 and then look at those who are older. My recommendation is I'm always willing to partner and model. I've done a lot of federal demonstration grants. We share best practices, and maybe there's somebody in Baltimore that I can work with. I am working in New Jersey, Virginia, and Pennsylvania and New York. It's just a matter of if we could find, a partner to work with. So I'm not limited, but what I do want to make sure is we as adults have a tendency to disappoint young people. We say that we're going to do something and then we don't do it. And I just want to make sure the process, what I'm looking for is gauge the interest. So after tomorrow, I'm going to go back to LA 21 and say, you know what, we have 30 young people here. And David, I'll say to them, we had young people over 18. They want this. What do we do? Then I got to come back and I got to say, okay, here's what we're going to do. The adults that are 18 and over, they can apply to LA 21 for business coaching if they want to start a business. Young people will stay with me. But I got to make sure that I respond back to the community, because that's where in our community, there's always a beginning and an end and never a middle. And I want to make sure that we get to the middle.
So, Mr. Campbell, this is what I would like to say to you finally. I foresee that this program is going to benefit a lot of people. All right. So just make sure you have enough room to pack your bags and come to Baltimore, Maryland. And at the same time, think about how you can go overseas, because or either pack your bags to go overseas, or establish an online program like this that you can reach people across the globe, because I can guarantee you that Liberians are coming for you.
Yeah. So I just want to say this: 99% of what I do with adults is online. But we thought for young people to have an impact, you got to touch them, you got to feel them, you got to talk to them. We're working with young people. They're homeless. They don't have a parent. Some kids don't even have a laptop. So we want to be in person so we can touch them and understand what it is that we are doing. Are you in Baltimore?
I'm in Baltimore and I'm in Liberia at the same time.
Okay. Well, we just need to break bread, brother. So before you run out of time, I want to say this to the large community. I want this number to stick. There's $1 trillion in funding in the United States, and we are not applying for it. That's the goal. That's the most important thing. There's millions of dollars. If you know someone and they have a cleaning service and they're not applying for government contracts for cleaning service, if they are a bookkeeper and they're not applying for it. So that's what my goal is try to connect people to where those services at so we can get in the game. In Philadelphia, people of color only make up 4% of the contracts in the city of Philadelphia. We cannot accept that. That's another discussion for another day we need to have. And I think it's something like with 43% of the population, but only 4% of it. No.
Wow.
Yeah. No, you can look that. You can look that up. So I'm sorry, Derek, I didn't mean to take up time.
No. Still got one more question for you. Let's hear from David. Let's hear from David before we take leave.
Yes. And Mr. Keller sounds like my favorite and popular motivational speaker, Les Brown, who also travels around the world, impacting knowledge, telling people how to manage their businesses, their finances, and their own lives. Is that similar role you're playing, or there's some quite differences between you and Les Brown or other motivational speakers? Are you a motivational speaker?
There's only one Les Brown, but I listen to Les. I listen to Grant Cardone. I listen to these people, but I got to tell you, I listened to my 92-year-old mother who taught me how to stretch $20. I listened
That's
to my
right. That's what
great
I'm talking.
grandmother
That's what I'm
who
talking
had
about.
a Bible, and she had all her money in her Bible. And these two women, they taught me how to save, not to spend so much. So those were my first coaches. You know,
That's what
my
I'm talking.
grandmother in her Bible, praying every day. But I want to say I'm motivated from the fact that I'm going to be 67 years old, and I've done this, and I want to start seeing young people replace us. That's what's motivating me. I want the young
That's what's
people
up.
to come in. I want somebody in the next 2 years to replace me, what I'm doing. I step back and I just help them, nurture them. When I went to Harlem, I was 25 years old. They gave me a checkbook. I never had a checkbook. They gave me a program and they said, do this. And they trained me and they work with me. So I'm motivated by the fact that I think that we as a people do a very poor job preparing our young people for leadership. That's why we're going to have this entrepreneur program. We don't want them to accidentally get into this. We want them to intentionally understand about success and what it takes to succeed. Okay?
Thank
Okay,
you.
thank you.
Just one question before I ask for your closing. Now, what if there's a young entrepreneur out there that's struggling with their business right now, or as far as mentorship or financial or obligations have to do with? How can this boot camp benefit them tomorrow? And those that will be attending, what would they be getting from this boot camp tomorrow?
One, we are going to get an opportunity to give you a voice because we want to hear from young people what your visions are. I don't talk down to young people. You young people don't do this, don't do that. I don't do that. I believe they're very talented. Number two, we're going to talk about their vision board. You got to have a vision, right? We want to talk about your vision board. See, what we do, we put character, right? So we talk to them about business, but then we're going to back up. To get there, are you in school? Are you eating right? Are you staying out? What are the things that you're doing? So we want to put a vision board. If you said you want to get there, we want to help you. The second thing is we are going to talk about leadership. We cannot escape that, you know, when I was growing up and I was in high school, there was danger on every street. But my mother said to me, here are some of the tools that you can use to avoid that. And too often young people are simply using violence as a way. We want to work with them around that. Last thing is they're going to start working on a mock business. We can't just talk. We're going to help them with, let's develop a mock business. So if you decide that, you know, I'll just make this up, that, you know, you want to create a painting company, you like painting, whatever it is, you know, what do I need to do to get there? You know, how do I secure my name? This is my business name. And, you know, there's a lot of 16-year-olds, and we see them all the time, have their own businesses. It's just not a legal business. So we're going to take that to those steps. And then the last thing we're going to do, we're going to get everyone's information, and we're going to talk to LA21, and we want to get back to them very quick and talk about step 2. Do we keep doing boot camps? Because it can't be a one-time thing. So it's going to be very interactive. We give them the same tools that we would give adults, just in the condensed version.
Thank you very much. And before you give us your closing remarks, can you just talk to us briefly on? I see you have the shirt on, the ECCR group. I don't know if you've already done that, but can you just talk to us briefly on that ECCR? Yeah. What does it mean?
So here's a funny thing about businesses. You know, Toys R Us that went out of business. Remember that pink bag? They got that pink bag. That was a mistake. When they first started the company, the owner didn't have a lot of money. And he went to a company and said, I need bags. He said, well, all I got is these pink bags. They made a mistake and made the R inverted. That's how the R got there. It wasn't intentional. It was an accident. So sometimes things happen by accident. So I wanted to start my company, and I had all kinds of names, Community Roundtable, this and that. So I put ECCR group, and before I know it, I pressed the button, and that's who I am. so it was by accident. So this is why I tell people, be very careful before you press that button and name your business. You know, So what I do now, I just call it Eugene Campbell Community Roundtable, because the way that I work is what we're doing now as a roundtable. I needed young people. I needed a space. I reached out to the community. They said, let's work together. And then I'll tell you this, the next thing is, once you form this kind of partnership, the funding follows. The funding follows because the model is there. So I thank you again for having me here. You have my contact information if anyone wants to reach out to me, and I will be there tomorrow at Victory Harvest Church. Please come out. Even if you're not interested in the entrepreneur program, but you just want to know about business coaching, where could I go to get this resources? Because I can tell you free places that you can go to get help to do that. So I thank you again. It has been my pleasure to be here.
Thank you very much, Mr. Eugene.
Right?
Thank you very much, Mr. Eugene Campbell, and thank you for sharing such a wonderful information on this network. And again, like I said in the beginning, it shouldn't be your last time on this network. But it was a pleasure having you, guys. If you watch, you hear the news tomorrow. Between ages 14 and up, the Youth Entrepreneur Bootcamp. The address is on the flyer. We'll share it, and you can find out on our.
So
Facebook.
How did the name Bootcamp come about? How did it come about?
It's like a workshop. But I'll let Mr. Campbell.
Yeah, okay. It's like a workshop, but sometimes you don't have a lot of time. You got to make it very condensed, you know. So we have 3 hours, and each hour is going to mean something, you know. So it's just condensed.
Thank you.
All
right.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you. You as well. To all of you watching us, there it is. The Youth Entrepreneur Bootcamp tomorrow, February 9th from 1 to 4 p.m. at the Victory Harvest Church Hall. And the address is 2536 S 59th Street, Philadelphia, PA 19143. So you can go there. You heard from Mr. Campbell himself if you need ideas on resources to start a business or to be a young entrepreneur. So make sure you show up tomorrow if you're around that place to get those very valuable knowledge. With that being said, we have a lot on our table tonight. Let's transition to the hard zone, but we must first take a break. Before we do that, let me encourage you to please share this program and make sure you're following this network. But when we come back, we will get into discussions on the president of Liberia activities in the last 72 hours, declaring his assets, being drug tested, and making additional appointments in government. We'll have discussion around that. But for now, let's take a brief break.
You won't believe this. This is LRTN Live.
Hey, this is Tommy Harris. You are watching LRTN Live.
Organizations, NGOs, and social clubs in and out of Liberia. Are you tired of relying solely on social media to run your operations? An effective web platform is your most important marketing tool, and that's where Tiamet.com comes in. Hello, my Liberian people. My name is Sophia, and I want you to consider this. 53% of consumers do online research about an organization before talking to someone from that institution. That means not having a website could be costing you opportunities. Step up your game and establish a professional online presence. Introducing our web platform, designed specifically for 501c organizations, small businesses, and political organizations, social clubs, etc. At Tiamet.com, we understand how important it is to make a great digital first impression. which is why we offer you all the help needed to develop, maintain, and host NGOs and small and big organization websites by giving you a full suite of services that includes automatic billing for members, membership and visitor portals, first-class design and functionality, and much more. The best part is, it only costs $20 per month. Upgrade your image today with our customized web design services. Visit www.tiamit.com to get started. This is a Liberian-owned business.
Martha Tomley, owner of Maticia Natural Hair Salon, located on 4405 Chestnut Street. We are specializing in locks, natural hair, braids, and etc. Call us for all your natural hair needs. You can reach out at 267-703-2330. If you have pictures or videos you want to send us, you can send it to 267-224-0693.
So welcome back to the
Maintaining your vehicle can be a major investment. That's why here at Brothers Auto Care, we pride ourselves on providing professional and reliable auto care at affordable rates. Whether you need an inspection, new brakes, or diagnostic reports, our skillful and experienced mechanics are here for you every step of the way. Call Brothers Auto Care now to schedule your next auto maintenance and repair service. At Brothers Auto Care, we help you drive home with peace of mind.
I'm not hearing Derek.
Hi, my name is Theophilus Julipa Nelson I. I am the founder and CEO of Lift Africa LLC. Lift Africa started as an employment agency that sought the employment of immigrants coming to the U.S. and finding ways and means to go to start life in this great your country. Now we have added airport pickups and drop. Car rental, hall rental. As you see, we have a new business location. Started with just a little office part, but today we have a whole complex that we can do a lot of stuff with.
Hello everyone, my name is Geneva Kreitz. I'm the Executive Administrator of Uplift Africa. We have an excellent employment rate at our company. We work with and for you regardless of your situation. If you've ever been in prison, maybe your background isn't great, do not worry. We have a place for you here. We believe in equal opportunity for everyone, especially you. So sign up today and begin earning.
My name is Emmanuel B. Horton, Operational Director for Live Africa. Live Africa is the place to be.
Okay. Okay, welcome back to the Hudson. After a short break, today we're talking about all the activities, as my host Derek said. So welcome back to the Hudson after a short break. Bishop Reeves?
Yes, sir.
Are you hearing me?
Loud and clear.
Okay. So after the short break, let's go into our discussions. Let's first talk about Joseph Boakai's appointments. Joseph Boakai has for the past few days be making several appointments. I know there are agreements in many places, there are disagreements in some places, even within the United Party itself. What are your thoughts? What are you thinking? What is your impression about those he has appointed so far?
Well, first of all, I think President Boakai has done a great job. I don't care what anybody says. When you look at the appointments, you look at all of the appointments he's made, all of the people that I've seen so far that have gone through and are supposed to go through are qualified people, are people that we know can do the job. And that I'm impressed about his choice of the people he's choosing and he's putting out there. I'm very much impressed about that. It's kind of slow, but it's sure.
It kind of sure was slow. And before we came on air, we had a discussion, a brief discussion about why is Joseph Boakai slow? He's been elected since October or November. Didn't he have a plan as to who he wants to appoint or who he doesn't want to appoint? Didn't he have a plan ahead?
Yeah, but all of us can ask the same question, but I don't think all of us have the answer to that. All right. I know that there's a lot of pressure right now from everywhere. And for those of us who are on the ground and what we're hearing and what we're seeing, we know that there's a lot of pressure from everywhere, from his party, from the collaboration, from even the people in the diaspora, the people that supported him. All of them are putting pressure on the old man. I call him the old man because of his age. But I can tell you for a fact that I know that every move that he has made so far, even though it's slow in coming, but every move that he has made so far, I'm impressed about it. And I know he's going to do a good job. The only thing I want to say is that let the people in the party, let the people in the collaboration, let the people in the diaspora, let all of them sit down and let this old man lead and do what he's supposed to do. Because I see all of them are pushing and pressing and trying to make, stuff. Let them give the old man some chance and let him do what he got to do.
Why is old man slow? Why is the old man slow? Why is he slow in making the appointment? What is he looking for in those that he wants to appoint that is slowing down those decisions?
Thank you.
Well, I can't give you an answer for that, but I know that every move he's making is good move. Everyone he's appointing, they're good appointments. So I don't know why he's slow. I can't tell you why he's slow, but I can tell you that every move he has made is a good move, and we must applaud that.
Thank you very much, Bishop Reeves. Before I ask you this question, it will be more like a response to you. But let me recognize the presence of Bishop Hagar. Bishop Hagar, welcome to episode 5, season 5 of the Heart Zone.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you, David. Thank you, Bishop Cephas Reeves, my brother. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well. I don't know what you're doing with yourself, but you're looking younger. Just tell us the secret.
We are in power now, so we gotta get younger.
Is that why you're looking younger? Look at you.
Derry, I'm not hearing Bishop Hagar.
Can you not hear him?
No, I'm not hearing Bishop Hagar.
I think it's the earplug.
No, I'm hearing you, Bishop, read loud and clear. I'm hearing very loud.
Well, I said I'm getting younger because we are in power now, and when you're in power, it comes with setting grace.
Bishop Hagar.
Bishop Hagar. Oh, please.
Yeah. So, but before I come to you, Bishop Hagar, let me say something to Bishop Cephas Reeves. Now, this is the argument for some of the people that disagree with what you just said. Everything President Boakai has done as far as appointment, you said is fine. But most people are actually disappointed, especially the most recent list of appointees. They are saying President Boakai at this point is just paying back to those people that campaigned or made him president today, and especially on the argument.
No, I did not say that. Don't add that.
I'm not saying you. I'm saying some are arguing in disagreement with you. I'm not saying that's what you said. Some are arguing in disagreement with you, saying that the recent appointment Boakai made were just based on those people he's just trying to pay them back for what they did during the campaign season. And some are saying on the argument of merit-based appointment or just friendship or knowing this person, they think that President Boakai appointees are not merit-based. For example, sending Eugene Facon from Deputy Information Minister to LBS, the director at LBS, and also looking at Mo Ali, looking at the Stephen Johnson at the Labrador Civil Aviation. Does he have that credential to be at that institution? So I think some people will be disappointed in you agreeing with the recent list of appointees, saying that you think there are good appointments and stuff like and things like that. So I would like to come back to you again, to those people that are arguing that those appointments are not merit based. How do you respond to them?
Okay, so I think I need to backtrack a little bit, and I'm backtracking because you were referring to this recent list. Okay. I have not really screened the recent list. I'm looking at the last list and the last group of people that went for the confirmation hearing. Okay, so my mind in what when I was speaking based on those that went for the confirmation hearing, not for this new list that just came out today. Okay, I can't speak to that because I need to check it out and make sure that I'm right. But I'm
Okay,
speaking
because
based
yeah,
on the last group. Yeah, the last
my
group that went
response
for the
was based
confirmation
on
hearing.
my response was based on what you said, that all of the appointments President Bouaka has made to this point, they are all good appointments. But I'm glad you clarified that you having taking the time to peruse the most recent list.
The
So I'll
most
give you
recent
that.
list,
The
no,
most
no.
recent. So I'll give you that. Let's go to Bishop Hager. Talk to us about Bouaka appointment as of this date and time.
Well, we are very, very pleased. We are very happy for the quality of patriotic Liberians that President Bouaka has appointed.
Larry, you need to check the link between Bishop Higa and myself. That the sound.
Well, I can hear him good. You and Bishop Reeves, I'm sure hearing Bishop Higa. I don't know. I think it's the problem. The problem with you, David.
I'm hearing you, Derek. I'm hearing Bishop Reeves clearly.
Well, I don't know why you don't hear me,
And,
but
I'm not hearing
I'm
Bishop
speaking
Higa.
very loud and everybody can hear me. So what I was saying, we are very happy for.
Okay, I'm hearing him now.
We're very, very happy for the quality of patriotic Liberians, those who put Liberia first. Ambassador Joseph Human Bouaka have selected to represent him in the cabinet. They are good people. They are Liberians. You know, we have a statement in Liberia that says, if you mind the noise in the market, you will never be able to buy anything. Listen to me and listen very well. There will never be a time where Liberians, with the polarization of our country, there will never be a time that Liberians will be united and say, oh, the men you appointed, they are good. They will find fault with something with that person. Liberians politicize everything to the meeting. But I can guarantee you those appointments, let's give them the privilege to serve the Liberian people. We have a saying, say that you will know the taste of the food. You will know the taste of the food when you eat it. They have not even started functioning yet. Let me speak to Liberians that have this notion that you don't have the experience in certain areas. I will give one example. Dr. Ben Carson was appointed as Minister of Housing Development in America. He's a surgeon, he's a medical doctor, but when he came and became Minister of Surgeon, he had competent people around him, and his ministry was able to transform the housing area in America during Trump time, and it produced a lot of good things in the housing industry in America. So when you are educated, even if you don't have the specialist training in the area, when you are surrounded by competent people, you are only providing the oversight. As minister, you're providing the oversight. You are not in a Nikompu. You know basic thing about management. So people should start saying, oh, the person don't have the experience in the area. There are so many people appointed in ministerial position in America who do not have they don't have the expert in those areas, but they are political appointments. So I don't want to hear people say, oh, they don't have the training. The man is a college graduate. He qualified, competent. He understands about managing organization, institution. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And let me stay with you. You know, when you say these things, Bishop Hager, I love to remind you of just yesterday. The WIA administration. You were Unity, supporters of Unity Party. They were so focused on experience and education. You criticized Jefferson Kochi. Matter of fact, you criticized President WIA for not even having education and experience. Today, because it's in Unity Party shoes, so you can draw the comparison between America and Liberia. Did you not
And
know
that's
of
what
Ben
I'm
Carson?
doing.
No,
That's
wait, let
what
me
I'm
finish.
doing.
No,
And listen to me. That's what I'm doing. But Liberia need to understand something.
No, Bishop, let him finish. Bishop, protect the moderator, Bishop.
Bishop, did you not know about Ben Carson appointment in America during President Weah time? Why now? Because there were people in Weah government that never had the education, never had the credential, and you criticize them. Today we're looking on this list. We're seeing people that don't have the experience nor the education for the position they are going to. They are going there
Okay,
just to
name
get
me
paid.
one of them. Name me one of them.
Let me finish. I will
Name me
come
one.
to this is your question. This is your question. You want me to name you one? Stephen Johnson to Liberia Civil Aviation Authority. Just a few months ago, the last appointment President Weah made to the airport there. You had issue with him. One George, you had issue with him because he never had that background. Stephen Johnson, look at his credential. Does he have anything in aviation? Does he have anything in aviation? Today, because it's in Unity Party court, so y'all can make all of the nice analogy, all of the nice example y'all can think of it. Why now, Bishop Hager?
Yeah, thank you very much. Stephen Johnson, I don't know his credential. The appointment was made today, but I believe he was properly vetted. If he does not have experience in the aviation area,
You see why you're supposed to keep quiet in the thing here?
the managerial area. What I'm saying is this. Listen to me.
Keep quiet.
You are a college graduate. If you're a qualified college graduate, you study something about management, institutional policy, and all that stuff you know. So when you are appointed a political position to manage an institution, you have special assistants. You have people who are qualified. I mean, they have the technical skill that will be surrounding.
Do you understand what you're insinuating, Bishop Hager? You are saying this person. You are saying this person should take this job with the expectation that his assistant will do the job for him.
Now, what I'm saying,
I'm a college graduate, but if you tell me I have a position for you at the Ministry of Agriculture, I will tell you my education and experience does not align with that position. And that's why
is a managerial position. Now have to do a technical area. Stop talking
Bishop
that
Hager.
thing. In the Ministry of
Bishop Hager.
Agriculture.
Bishop Hager, may I remind you that you are on the hard zone. And in reminding you about the hard zone, it will help you if you are not too sure about a particular person, step down and step back. Because let me tell you something that I know for a fact, all right? I know right now that the Unity Party is putting pressure on Ome Bueka. And a lot of people wanted to use Ome Bueka's credential and his face to win elections so they can come back and do what they want to do. Unfortunately, the Ome is not backing down for them to do that. I know that for a fact. The people in the Unity Party need to back down and let that old man do his work. Even the people in the diaspora, as well as the people who have joined I don't want to call it a coalition, but a collaboration. The three group of people, they are putting unnecessary pressure on our old man. You need to back down. Yeah, the alliance. You need to back down and give you need to give that old man a chance and let him do his job. If I don't know about the credential of a person, I will not own up to it. When Derek asked me, I clarified myself because I did not properly vet the last group of people that came on. I'm not going to blindly talk for them. No. If the Unity Party, Party people is pressing the old man and he's putting some names over there, I need you to back down and let's look at it. Yes, go ahead.
My friend and brother, thank you so much. We are all speaking the same thing. We are all speaking. You talk about Stephen Johnson.
No, we're not.
No, okay. You will not say the same thing. Let me explain what I'm saying.
Go ahead.
Stephen Johnson, I said to him, he mentioned about Stephen Johnson going to Liberia Aviation Authority. I don't know the credentials of Stephen Johnson. What I said is this, that when you are qualified college graduate and you understand about organizational management, you don't have to have a specific technical training in that area. Those are political appointments. Of course, you're not going to run the organization all by yourself. You will have technical teams surrounded, but because of your education, you can be able to provide the leadership necessary to take that organization to the next level. That's what I'm saying. So Liberians should leave that. There are people in this American government, they have the education, they were given ministerial appointment, who they have technical people around them to help them, but they provided this political leadership and the organizational leadership. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, so
now, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. There are some people. There are some people who are educated, but they are not technically inclined for certain positions. All right. If you told me about education, you told me about other areas, fine. Aviation is not just a place where you can just take an educated person and put them in there.
It's a technical field.
Yes. So you got to be mindful with a area like aviation. You got to be careful who you put into aviation.
And
Derek, you got to be careful.
Let's see.
And Derek, I remember during President Ellen's regime, she appointed Kofi Woods as the Minister of Public Works. Similar concerns were raised. I think a similar thing that Joseph Boakai seemed to be repeated. So, Bishop Yeager, is it a good thing to do to put round peg in square, square hole, something like that? Yeah, square hole. Is it a right thing to do? I think people that have specialties in certain areas should be given areas that they fit in, that they can perform. And like the issue of Eugene Fagon that Derek raised. Eugene Fagon, as far as Liberian concerned, he is a propagandist. He doesn't have a communication or journalism background. And his appointment, in fact, is one of the most criticized now because he doesn't have to come from that background. So you think it's a good thing to do? Don't you think that's why that it's because of the kind of appointments that most of the officials of government have dismally performed because they are given positions they're not capable of handling?
Well, let me let
and
you
I think they're putting the old man under pressure too. I think they're putting the old man under pressure. I think that's what they're doing, and they need to back up. They're putting the old man under pressure. They need to back up.
The job of president, the president come with certain level of pressure. Joseph Yuma Boakai is the president for all Liberians. However, the Unity Party and all the collaborators help him to be president today. We need to take care of our own house first. It's very, very important. If your mom is the best cook in the community and she's serving everybody food and her own children going hungry, it's not right. The food
that's the wrong direction you're going.
Let your children eat it too. So the Unity Party have the right because they have been there since 2017 helping the Ambassador Joseph Yuma Boakai. Having said that, I want to say to every one of us, the president of Liberia, he's not a prime minister. He is the president. And nobody forcing. The list that he provided, they met his consent. He approved of them. So they represent his values and expectations. The Liberian people, with all their criticism, I believe that Eugene Fagon going to be one of the best director general because they got to understand the dynamics of the new dispensation we are in. You're going to take the Liberian broadcasting system to a new level. Even if it does not have what we call the requisite technical knowledge in journalism, but there are people that are journalists that know nothing. Eugene Fagon has demonstrated his ability to articulate very well. He's able to really navigate. The Liberian broadcasting system is to actually carry the message of the government to the people. And you can't deny that from Eugene Fagon. He has been able to articulate the message very clearly. So give him chance, let him run a Liberian broadcasting system. You see, in the next 3 months, things will take place in our broadcasting system. Thank you.
Bishop Hager, Derek, I beg you, Bishop Hager. The analogy you gave about a mother's cooking the food and distributing and giving the children first and all giving the children
confusing
the food.
us. He's confusing us.
But it almost like a deviation from what Joseph Boakai promised that he would have formed a government of inclusion. Now, here you are talking about Joseph Boakai first giving positions to United Parties.
David, you're not listening very well.
He's listening very well.
No, David's not listening very well. David always misquote me. David.
You talk about a mother cooking the food and giving your children first. Is that what you said, Mr. Hager?
David,
yes, that's
what
what
you were supporting. You, David, said you are supporting Beslo. Was Beslo now appointed to be foreign minister? They talking about Joseph Boakai, the government inclusion. Who is now appointed to be foreign minister? Is that your candidate? David, is that your candidate? You said it.
But the same Beslo that was appointed, you are the same United Party people fighting her, so she can't go there. You're fighting her, so she can't go there. Y'all stop fighting the old man.
I'm saying to David that Joseph Human Boakai have continued to exhibit the approach to inclusiveness.
But man, you're fighting the old man. You're stopping.
Bishop,
that's what you're doing. You stop fighting the old man here. You fought against him when he put Beslo there because he felt that Beslo was the best person for that job. Y'all went and started digging all kinds of things behind Beslo. The United Party people, they are the ones fighting this old man. You need to back down.
Bishop Hager, I don't know your screen frozen, so I don't know if you're still with us. But Bishop Hager,
the point I'm making there is very clear, David. David.
Yeah, Bishop Hager, I'm listening.
He's listening to you.
The point I'm making is very clear. I say you have your mother, and your mother can cook. Everybody in the community eating your mother food, but the children who are hungry. What kind of mother is that?
Okay. Can you interpret? Can you explain what you mean? We don't understand what you mean. Explain what you mean.
If my mom can cook and all of the children also can eat,
saying the parable. You're not explaining it.
So explain the parable.
I would say that. Listen, my mother used to do the same thing. My mother in the community, she would take care of all the people, children. Everybody eat to our home, but we don't want to the home. We're hungry, and we can't eat. You take our food and share with other people. What kind of?
So what does that imply?
It implies that as Joseph Boakai made other people to eat, let the United Party people eat too.
Let them eat first.
You see?
Is that what you're saying?
You see? This is what you people want to do. You want to come back and do more of the same. That old man will not get your chance. He will deal with you.
No, there is something that I want to respond to a comment Bishop Hager made earlier. You said, back to the Eugene Falcon case. Eugene Falcon understands the terrain he's in, and he knows how to propagate. He knows how to propagate the message. Now, to David's point earlier, does Eugene Falcon understand the ethics of journalism? Will he be able to do that at the LBS? And yes, the bigger picture, and I feel like this is what we don't put out there. When you hire or appoint someone that do not have the credential for that position, do you know who you are depriving of serving the Liberian people with the right credential? Someone who has that credential. There are Liberians that went to school for journalism and get vast experience in that field. They are out there. But guess what? Eugene Falcon gets I will give you the opportunity. I will give you the opportunity, Bishop Hager. So when you hire people without the right credential, you are depriving not only the Liberian people what they are supposed to serve, for those people that put in their resources and their time and their efforts into getting that credential, you're depriving them of that opportunity to serve. So again, it all comes down to when we get behind these microphones, we get in front of this camera, we profess to talk about the Liberian people. And the greater group of the Liberian people is for us to put people where they belong. Those people you are talking about, those are not uneducated people. Those are people that went to school for something. put them in our places. Eugene Falcon got associate degree in political science, made him Unity Party chairman. Or find his some type of position that align with his experience and credential.
Because he
That's
get talk.
what we're for. So Bishop
Thank you
Hagar,
very
again.
much. Listen to me. Listen, you are unaware of the mandate of the Liberian Broadcasting System.
Okay,
The mandate
we
of the
want to hear
Liberian
that.
Broadcasting System is to articulate the view of the government, to communicate the view of the government to the Liberian people. We need somebody who is a good communicator. We don't want someone that has technical knowledge. Mass communication, but don't have the charisma, doesn't have the passion to communicate. And Eugene Falcon is bringing on the board the passion, the charisma to articulate the message of the government. And I applaud Joseph Boakai for making it Director General of the Liberian Broadcasting System.
Back down, Bishop. Back down.
Bishop
Reeves.
Get up. I want for us to talk about Boakai getting drug tested. But you know, something you said earlier, Bishop Reeves, had they putting pressure on this old man so much. Some Liberians don't feel sorry for him. Let me be honest with you. Because during the campaign season, this is the man they sold to the Liberian people. He had all the years of experience. All the years of experience. Guess what? He served for 12 years as vice president. This should come real easy to him. He should not be put under pressure so much today that he will be hiring people or appointing people that do not have the requisite or experience and credential. Boakai should know so much about Liberian politics.
Bishop Reeves, has Joseph Boakai said that he's under pressure, or is you assuming that he's under pressure? Or don't the people in the Unity Party or other Liberians have the right to suggest to President Boakai as to who he should appoint or who he shouldn't appoint based on their qualification and competence?
Look, let me tell you something. Liberia is a very small country. Every one of us know each other very well. Okay? So we know what's going on with us. Are you hearing what I'm saying? And when you talk about the old man being under pressure, let me tell you something. Pressure comes when there's a force and there's an opposite force that's coming together that will cause friction, right? So it means that the Unity Party people just thought that they were using Oben Boakai as the face so they can come and do what they want to do. And the old man is very quiet, but he's showing them that I'm not just going to be the face, I'm going to do what I need to do. His age is making him slow, but he will do what he said he would do. In the phase of adversity, with all of those people who think that they're coming to just push the man to do what they want, that's the resistance you're having. He's trying to compromise in a certain way, but there's a resistance. That's why there's pressure, because he's not bowing to that. And of course, the whole group of Unity Party and the rest of the other people, they are putting pressure from everywhere so they can have more of the same. And I doubt whether it's going to be more of the same. And then we're yet to see. This movie is going to be very, very exciting and interesting.
That is your own interpretation. Listen to me.
You can say all you want, but you yourself know exactly what I'm talking about.
President Joseph Yuma Boakai is Unity Party president. First of all.
No, he's the president of the Republic of Liberia, not Unity Party. We're not talking about Unity Party here. He is the president of the Republic of Liberia.
I withdraw that statement.
Accepted.
Of the entire Republic of Liberia. He's our president.
Yes.
He is the standard bearer of the Unity Party.
We're not talking about party business.
Listen.
We're talking about the country right now. All of us who supported other areas, right now, all of us supposed to come together.
The platform on which Joseph Yuma Boakai was elected was the platform that was adopted at our convention he gave to us. So what we are saying to you people, why he's the president for all Liberians, we are all Liberians. Unity Party is part of the Liberian nation as well. So
agree. So you're back down. Unity Party should stop forcing the old man hand to do anything over there. He is the president for the Republic of Liberia first. And let him make his choice so that every one of us who supported, let me finish, all of us who support.
Bishop Reese is in flight.
Listen. Every party supported their candidate. Everybody supported who they felt that they wanted to support. At the end of the day, one candidate emerged. And listen, the same mistake the CDC government made. I don't want the Unity Party to make that same mistake. But by the time we're done with elections, everybody needs to forget about the muya, zekwe, forget about all the battle cry and come together as Liberians and run the country and do what we're supposed to do. But y'all still want to be in the battle cry booth. Y'all still want to talk about the party who brought him, the people who did. Why you see Prince Johnson is making all that noise now about they need to have 6 positions in the government because Nima Kante was the one that made the government to win this thing here. Listen, Nimba Kante is not the one that made them to win. Check the numbers. Look at the southeast for George Weah. Look at the other areas for Ome Boyka. And see, had it not been that Bon County, if you look at the count in Bon County, Unity Party in the second round won Bon County by 7,000 votes. Okay, so if Bon County had not allowed Unity Party to come in with that 7,000 votes, it would have been a whole different story for President Weah. So I need you to understand that we are done with this whole party thing. This is the Republic of Liberia. We have to go and get the best of the best, the cream of the crop, and put them in position so Liberia can move forward.
Bishop Reese, don't you think we have been judgmental too soon about those who have been appointed by Joseph Boakai, underestimating their ability or their competence to serve, to effectively or efficiently serve in the position they've been going? Don't you think people have been judgmental too soon of their ability to perform in those positions they've been given? Maybe after you, Bishop Yega, can come in.
Well, I can't speak to that exactly as to whether they're being judgmental too soon, because some of the people who are bringing out their points, they are talking about the credentials of these people. All right. So they're putting the credentials out to make their point. So I can't say they're being judgmental or they're talking too soon. And let's be honest, President Boakai will not be perfect in all of what he's going to do. So there will be criticism. There will be people who will criticize. These are constructive criticism. Nobody's trying to put the captain of the ship down. You understand what I'm saying? So why you think the last group of people that was appointed that went to the confirmation hearing, I will give them a big correct mark. It's just the last list that I didn't, and Derek tried to point out some of the people, you know, and I have not looked at that. And I'll be honest, I'll be the first person to admit that. Okay, and I wish that Bishop Hager can follow suit so that we can also be balanced in how we handle this issue going forward. Thank you.
I'd love to
Bishop
Hager, if you can, I'd love for you to respond to David's question.
Yeah, okay, great. I just want to say that the appointees are awesome. There is no perfect system. And I'd like to speak to our Liberian people all over the world. There will never be a time where the president get everything correct. Liberia will not be an exception. There are countries in the world where in the first 2 years of that presidency, they have 3-4 different reshuffle of ministers. So let Liberian people, Joseph Yuma Boakai is not a prime minister. He's a president. So I want people like Prince Johnson to understand that it was not Prince Johnson that appointed him. No, Prince Johnson did not appoint Joseph Yuma Boakai to be president. If you're running a parliamentary government, the A party has influence over the prime minister, and if they're not happy, they can withdraw their support. That government can collapse. But Prince Johnson must understand that Joseph Yuma Boakai is president for the next 6 years. He has a platform, he has an agenda, he must follow. Tomorrow, the Liberian people are not going to judge Prince Johnson. They're going to judge Joseph Yuma Boakai. Any mistake he made, he will take full responsibility. So those who Joseph Yuma Boakai have appointed, let the Liberian people, all the parties that have contributed whatever vote, let them give Joseph Yuma Boakai the privilege of the president and let him run his administration and let him take full ownership. To the Liberian people, without Joseph Yuma Boakai is not giving you angels. They are not giving you perfect people. We are giving you Liberians who have the desire to serve the nation, to contribute their quota to the development of the country. If you think that you know more than them, wait for your time. But now those who have been appointed, let's give them the opportunity to serve the Liberian people and let's judge them for.
So Bishop Yega, in short, are you saying that you give anybody any job because they have the desire to serve? So don't give them and put them in a position that they wish because they have the desire to serve.
Whoever Joseph Yuma Boakai select or appoint, let the Liberian people accept them and let the people serve their Liberians. After that, you can judge. If they made mistake, 6 years from now, they will decide whether Joseph Yuma Boakai was a good president or not.
Now, I have a point here. Listen, it is true that you're going to give Joseph Yuma Boakai the opportunity to appoint his people he wants to appoint. We understand that, very clear. But you see, what will bring balance to the country is that when he submits those people for scrutiny, we must be able to scrutinize them. That's what democracy is all about. We must scrutinize them. If there's a problem with their background and their credentials, let the people speak. The fact that I disagree with you does not make us enemies. It is healthy. It brings balance.
I totally agree with you.
So some of these people who they are now pulling their records out, let's check them out. Let's scrutinize them. If they're being misplaced, let people voice out their opinion. This is the hard zone. We are not coming here to come and patty cake anybody. You see? At the same time, I maintain my position. Your Unity Party people back off from the old man. That's all I will tell you.
This is a hard zone.
But Bishop
hard zone is a constructive hard zone.
Joseph Boakai, Liberia president, and through the Unity Party as standard bearer. So is it fair enough for Unity Party people to back up from him? Is it a good thing to say? Is it a good thing to do for Unity Party to say back up from him?
Let me defend my statement. Let me tell you what I'm saying here tonight. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
You realize that the old man, and permit me to call our president the old man. Okay.
Yes.
You realize that the old man have a plan to bring this country to a particular place, to develop Liberia in a particular way. All right. The same thing Bishop Hagar is talking two sides of his mouth over there. One point he will say the mother's supposed to feed the children first before they feed somebody else. Then the other point he will say, oh, let Prince Johnson sit down and da-da-da-da-da. Is Prince Johnson not part of the house where he will have to eat? He is also crying that he must eat first. Okay? So y'all need to sit down and let this old man do his work. The Unity Party people are forcing him because they want to run the country. And they thought that they were going to just put the old man there as a face and figurehead. But they are meeting a stiff resistance from that old man. That is why you see sometimes he got to compromise to put some of those credentials in there. But we will still fire those credentials and they will not make it. If they not qualify, we will move them from there. We will make the noise. That means that if Unity Party force the old man hand and put some people there that are not supposed to be there, when they come to the public space, we'll fire them so they can move from there. That's what I'm saying.
Thank you. And
I don't want. Let me just say something, Bishop Rage. They say everybody mind can get grave.
We know about that one.
Okay. I just telling you because when push come, that we the one Joseph Juma Burger will come to us for help. So
Joseph Newberger got only one term. He got only one term, and the old man know that he got one term. He needs to use that one term and deal with the country and put it to where it's supposed to be. I don't care what you say. One term. When he finish, he finish.
Bishop Higa, I would like to come back to you. I know Bishop Reeves, I already responded to that question, but I just want you to respond to David's question from earlier. I'm sorry. Do you think the Liberian people, political pundits, or some of us that get behind the microphone on talk show, David was asking you, do you think it's too early for them to be judgmental on President Boakai appointees? Do you think these people should be given more time for them to perform, and then we can base our judgment based on their performance? I wanted you to respond to that directly.
It is just ludicrous, to say the least, that just 3 weeks into a government, people start to judge the government. It never happened any part of the world. Liberia should not be the exception.
I wanted to use that your answer to as a setup to remind you or something you said previously. I will always remind you. Okay. Now I will use this analogy. If you let me remind you of what you said before I use the analogy. When you were campaigning against President Weah administration, former President Weah administration, you said this country was in the ICU. Everyone needed to be rescued because the country was in the ICU. Now, yes, my analogy. If you have a family member that you dearly care about lying in the ICU, and then the hospital administration bring someone that got no background, no medical background, no education whatsoever, and they say that person will attend to your family member, will you say, let's watch and see that person, let's see how they perform before we can complain, or before we can even judge them, or will you say no, that person not on this song will they take care of my family member? The reason I'm using that analogy is simple because today the Liberia that you said was in the ICU, and the Liberia we're looking at Boakai today, put people in positions where they can serve the Liberian people to take the country out of the ICU. Today he's putting people there that have questionable credential and background, and you are telling us that we should wait small. We should wait small for the people to perform on the Liberia that's in the ICU before we can base our judgment. Now I'll come back to you. Do you want to maintain
answer that question?
Go ahead. Do you want to maintain that position?
I maintain the position because when your family in the ICU, it's not an individual that's going to rescue, it's a team of experts. They have the care plan specialists. Everybody.
Good.
The janitor,
I like that.
The janitor is involved, the electrician is involved, the entire team. So Joseph Yuma Boakai has an entire team. So I want you to look at it from the holistic, not looking at it from the individual, but look at it from the holistic. When we put everybody effort, even the one that you don't consider be anything, the whole effort come together. We go. Listen to me. In the next 1 year, we already rescued Liberia for the ICU. In 1 year.
No way. No way. I would not take your word for that. We are in the ICU and we need a strong team of people. But you're pushing some people on that team that are supposed to be there. We'll take them for that.
You know, maybe
they are helping the team to sweep. Let them move on. No. We're going everybody move on. Thank you.
No. Let's move on to something else though. This week, President Boakai got tested and came out negative, and got drugs tested, and the result came out he's negative. Now, why? But I got so many questions on the issue of the drug testing. First of all, is it just a one-time test, or is it like a random test? Is it continuous? Like after every 90 days, government officials supposed to get tested? Because one, if it's just a one-time, first of all, let's just establish that it's not a law. So they don't really have to follow. It's not a law. It's not passing the law yet. It's not an executive. I don't know if it's an executive order. David can help me with that. But now, if it's just one time, what if this government official get just tested, he came out negative, and start using drugs the next day? How effective is this executive order?
Jerry, you're missing
How
it.
does- No, I will. I'm coming to you.
Yeah.
Make me understand. I'm coming for no knowledge on this whole drug testing thing and law or executive order and President Walker passed. What is the purpose and how effective will this be in the fight against drugs? Bishop Hagar.
Thank you very much. Listen to me. When a country is facing a major situation, emergency situation, you have to take some decision to govern all of the attentions and resources towards that thing. President Joseph Yuma Boga provided leadership by going publicly to take tests, drug tests. The message was political. It was to let the Liberian young people know that drug is dangerous. You saw all the newspaper carry it, the radio station carry it. It was clearly seen. It was a message like when America was facing a drug epidemic here, the politician went up publicly to the school to do public drug tests. It was to send a message to young people that drugs is dangerous, don't get involved. So Joseph Yuma Boaga, the test is not going to eliminate drugs in Liberia, but to harness all of the attention towards the menace of drugs in our society. Listen, we are taking some of those decisions. It will go beyond. We are recommending all those officers within the Liberia Drugs Enforcement Agency. All of the officers will be subject to random drug tests. If your phone will be to have drugs in your system, as an officer of the DEA, you will be dismissed. We are going to ask the executive, all those that work, we're going to start with the Ministry of Presidential Affairs. It's going to be a random drug test. You got to sign that paper that they can just call you anytime to do drug tests. If you have phone to have drug in your system, you'll be dismissed. You have to understand that we have to fight this drug thing. This drug, people brought a lot of drugs. They were smoking and taking drugs and destroying the life of our young people. We got to redeem our young people from that thing. It has to happen. And I applaud the president, all the senator representatives. Thank you so much. Let's continue to ring the message. Drugs are dangerous to our people. Destroying the life of our young people, and we got to do something to eliminate it.
Thank you very
Please,
much.
I need to say something to that. Okay. I want the solution to what the president is talking about is for the legislature to pass a law, a very strong drug law. If they pass that law, how are we going to deal with it? The consequences. If the legislature can quickly put it on the agenda and pass the law and put it into law in our country, then we are serious about seeing Liberia move away from this drug. Other than that, the thing Bishop Hagar is talking about, that it was political. What does that political mean? When you say it was political, does that mean that they are lying to the people? What does that mean, political? I don't understand when you say it was political. No. This, in order for this thing to come into full effect, let the legislature put it on the agenda, pass a bill, a very strong bill, and then we can bring it across and let the Liberian people begin to see it. And they can say whether it's going to be random. They can say whether it's going to be a one-time thing. We know it's not going to be a one-time thing. Let them come in with a bill that will solve the problem and pass it. Then we know that Liberia is being rescued from drug use.
Bishop Hagar, Derek, let me ask Bishop Hagar. Bishop Hagar, what do you mean when you say it's political?
David, before Bishop Hagar can answer that question, can you tell us about this? Is it an executive order, the issue of the drugs?
Whatever statement the president made about the issue of drug tests, what is the president that makes such a statement? It becomes a policy statement that is binding on all Liberians. That's what I think. It was not an executive order, except that I did not follow that.
Okay,
yeah,
all
it
right.
becomes a policy statement, but it is the president that said it.
Okay, so it only applies to the executive branch, not the because it only applies to the executive branch.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, for now, it only applies to appointees in government, officials of government.
That is the executive.
Not necessarily appointees. I think it applies to all officials of government as a form of discouraging the use of drugs, starting from the big people or officials of government, setting an example by taking a drug test. You know, by taking a drug test, meaning that to suggest that the government is taking the issue of fight against drugs serious. I think that's what the message is all about.
Thank you.
So that is why we're saying that the quickest way to do it is to go through the legislature. Pass that
I will
bill
ask him, Bishop. I will ask him, Bishop Yega, if you say Joseph Boakai taking a drug test political, what does that imply?
Well, it was political because he wanted to promote the agenda against drugs by taking the initiative. He going up publicly to take the drug test and encouraging all the government officials to do likewise. So the political message is that my government, we have nothing to do with drugs. We want to be clear on drugs. So going publicly, that's the first time in Liberia where the president, sitting president, go for drug test. You understand? You don't have to do it, but you have to do it.
You started collecting accolades already. You started collecting accolades. We heard that during the CDC
we're not here for accolades, but you can show me one president in Liberian history that went for public drug test.
You're sounding so much like CDC, though. I want you to do one thing. You go compare with every other president in Liberia.
Listen.
Yes.
Let's be serious.
Bishop, I can stop that thing. It will come back to bite you.
Issue about drugs, it is a very, very important issue that will require, as Bishop Silver is saying, a holistic approach. The laws are there. The drugs laws are there.
We don't have strong drug laws. We don't have strong drug laws. I checked it. We don't have strong drug laws.
Okay, we can reinforce the law. But what we need a policy within different governmental institutions how to implement these laws. For example, in
What are you
America,
talking about?
Listen,
okay, no, let me call you, Bishop Hagar. Please quote the drug laws that we have. What is the drug law that we have in Liberia? Please talk about it.
Let's protect Bishop Hagar.
Put it on right now. The law will pass. What I'm saying, Bishop Reed, here in America, for example, and people need to listen very well. Derek made that David. I work with a company, and before they employ me, they make me sign a paper, and that paper said they can do drug tests on me anytime, random tests. There are so many people have been fired from my company. One girl working with me, she used to hide and take and smoke. So one day they just came and tore off from the place we're working and just took off a drug test. And they found drugs in her system. Immediately she was fired. It is a no. You can never survive. They will make you sign that paper. In Liberia, we need to have such policy on the ground. We need to tell, as like I said, I'm proposing the Liberian Drug Enforcement Agency. All the officers are there, the hundreds of officers are there. They must sign that paper that they will do random drug tests on them. If any of them fall with drugs in their system, you are dismissed immediately. You have to send a kind of message so people be afraid. You know, people need to be punished, people need to be penalized. In the executive, starting from the Ministry of State for Presidential Affairs, all the workers need to sign. The president, you need to go further. Not only here, the entire family need to come for drug tests. Let's see it publicly. This thing is serious. And we need to take serious action against it. It's not just one president, Joseph Boakai, Go stay over there, say go take drug test as all. No.
Okay, so let me ask you. Let me ask both Bishop Reese and Bishop Hager. Is drug test sufficient in terms of the fight against drugs that we're talking about? No. Now, let me learn Bishop Hager. Bishop Hager, let me learn. Most of the drugs we hear about in this country, they pass through the borders, either from the airport or through the borders. And it said drug test alone would help in fighting or strengthening or solidifying our borders. Will also help because those who take those who taking the drugs test now are not the so-called in the street. They are not the ordinary people in the street who doing the drugs, who are committing crimes, who are on drugs and committing crimes. And the VIP is taking the drug test. What's about the ordinary people out there, the so-called who walking in the street, sleeping and while walking? How does the drug test that people taking apply to them? How does it help in terms of mitigating the issue of the challenge of drug or the fight against drug? How does it help in alleviating?
Mr. Tagwe, hold on one second, Mr. Hager. Mr. Tagwe, I gave you the answer, but apparently you did not hear me.
Okay.
We do not have strong drug laws on our books. That is the reason why those people that was caught with the drugs, they manipulated the law, and they were able in the last government. Can you imagine you catch whole ship load of drugs and they let it go? It means that our drug laws are not strong on the books. This legislature needs to pass a very strong bill. Let it be very, very strong and stringent measures be taken. And once they pass it into law, the people will enforce it. We do not have strong drug laws on our books. I know what I'm telling you people. And that's
so if it says strong drug laws, what does that mean? Strong.
I would tell you what
the word strong.
What does that mean? Let me give you an example. Malaysia, you know what Nigerian can carry drugs to Malaysia?
No.
Ghanaian get drugs, carry drugs, all those are pushing drugs from South America and go to Malaysia. When you get to Malaysia with drugs, they find you with drugs, they are going to kill you. And before they kill you, they take out your 2 kidneys and give to somebody that need it. You will die. You can't do nothing about it, you will die. If you enter in Malaysia with drugs, you're going to die. And the people can try it. While Malaysia is drug free, they will kill you. They will execute you. Whoever talk, they say abuse human rights like your business. But before they kill you, they take out your 2 kidneys and give to somebody. Try it.
Will you push for similar law to come to
Liberia? Yes. I will push for you.
Do you know Bishop Hager, say yeah? Do you know the Liberia, one of the signatories to an international agreement to avoid the issue of death penalty?
Listen to me. We have America is a signatory to so many things, but when it comes to protecting our national interest, do not listen to that thing. We have to think about our national interest. You know how many children, how many of our young people die and their future being damaged, and we talk about some kind of convention and nobody obey.
But Bishop Hager, your country signed an agreement that abolishes the death penalty. So how do you
Can I say something, Bishop Hager? Can I say something, Bishop Hager? Let me come to you. Let me help you, Bishop Hager. Let me tell you something, David. That's the reason why we are saying that Liberia is in the ICU. Because of some of these signatories and other things, we have not done what we're supposed to do. So yes, we are on life support. So in order to get up on life support, we need to have strong laws. Even if they have to do with execution, then let them do with execution. But we need to have strong laws that will ban that whole drug thing from the border to everywhere. We need to have some strong laws.
Yeah,
if it means we got to execute, then let's execute. If it will take us out of the ICU, then let's take us out. But I guarantee you, in the next 5 years, mark my words, in the next 5 years, and I want to be quoted on this radio, on this television network. In the next 5 years, if we don't pass strong drug law, Liberia will be overrun by drugs that you can't deal with. You cannot.
Two men of God suggesting execution.
Yeah, David. Even
You don't want me to go there and you talk about men of God. That will open the Bible and show you where all the executions are. So don't go to Bible business. Oh yeah, don't go there.
On a serious note, David. Ivory Coast, let's go to you there. They have serious problem with drugs and armed robbery when Ouattara took over. He told the people we can't run this country. There will be no investor coming. The economy will go nowhere. It will continue to live like this. He gave them, created a special police force. In 1 month, they killed 388 armed robbery in Abidjan. Armed robbery eliminated. Let me tell you, there's something about people will not obey until they know they will be punished. People will not change.
Bishop Hagar. Is this? I understand, or Bishop Reese is also in support of this. Now, my question is, don't you guys think that this is too harsh of a punishment for?
Oh, when people are being hurt.
Hey, let me ask.
Bishop Hagar, let me ask the question. I can't answer right here on my lips.
Don't you guys? Don't you think this is like a very harsh punishment for someone being in possession of drugs? And let me say why I say this, because there are a lot of things you could think about. Other countries create a huge incarceration camp and make these people useful. They can be there making soap, where you can come out and sell to your country. They can be there making any products, but to just kill them. Have you thought about just putting them in like a camp where they can become useful citizens again?
What's the issue? And what's the issue of due process?
Yes,
I understand
what drugs has done to Liberia. But is it that bad that we have to come to the point where you guys are talking about execution? I'll give you guys the opportunity to respond to that.
Very good. Let me start. It is that bad to the point where we have to come to that. Now, you're talking about Bible. The Jesus Christ that we're talking about here, we're preaching throughout. What happened on Golgotha? He was not the only person that was on the cross. There were two other people on the cross. What did they do that they weren't deaf? Jesus, who didn't do anything, they killed him. Those other guys, they were criminals. So you want to tell me they couldn't rehabilitate those criminals? They put them on the cross to kill them? The people had strong laws for criminals back in the day. Okay, so when I come to the death penalty things, listen, for me, my point here, I'm not zeroing on death penalty.
I understand.
If we have to get to that would take us from the ICU, then let it be.
No,
but we must have strong laws that will even prohibit the thing from the border. If you are caught, because let me tell you something, if that thing is coming to the borders, it will have to be law enforcement people that will allow it to come.
Well, Bishop Reese, let me rephrase my question, and then Bishop Hagar, you can take it from there. Now, the reason, I'm not really on the fence about this whole execution. I'm totally against it, and I will tell you why. If you have the opportunity, right? If you have the opportunity to either execute someone for that they have drugs in their possession, or let's not forget, besides drugs, Liberia has so many problems. The issue of poverty, people hungry in Liberia. So my question, if you have to choose between executing that person and putting them in one of those counties where they can mass produce country rest or country bread for Liberian people to benefit, which one will you choose? Bishop Hagar.
Okay, maybe you did not understand exactly what Bishop Reed and myself were talking about. We are not talking about the little who go there, we're trying to take something to smoke or to do this. He said there was not strong laws people are bringing in drugs into the country to destroy the life of our young people. If you are caught bringing drugs into Liberia through our airport, through our seaport, if you have anybody who is connected bringing in tons of drugs into the country, when you are caught, Bishop Hagar on this platform demand that any drug pusher that brings drugs into the country must be executed.
Without the due process?
The due process will be there. But at the end, you know you're going to die. They'll hang you. You go through the system, but the result is not to put you in jail or kill you.
I understand.
Kill one or two people in Liberia. People be afraid to come to Liberia with drugs. I'm telling you.
Instead of executing that person, I'm asking you again. Why not make that person
those Soko then will take them to rehabilitation center.
Okay, so let me come in, please. Let me come in. I don't know how we got to this place of execution, and now execution is now the main topic we're discussing here.
No, we're just actually discussing it.
So what we're talking about here is that we need strong drug laws. Look at Mexico. Look at the drug cartel. They have become so strong that they can battle anybody, any group, anywhere. All right? But there are some countries, they dare not pass there because of the stringent laws, strong laws that they have. Bad sore need bad medicine. The thing in Liberia has gotten so bad that in the next 5 years, if you don't come up with laws, now it will overrun the country. What I would suggest, let's have a referendum. Let Liberian people decide on how they want us to handle this drug thing. Let's have a referendum. Let a bill be passed. Let them put it into law. So I think if we give the Liberian people the chance to say what they think to be done if you are caught bringing in drugs into the country, then it will be unanimously agreed on. Then we will go forward as a country.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Bishop Reese, Bishop Hagar, Mr. Takwe. Let's take a break. When we come back, we'll get into I think the biggest news for this week, President Bouaga declaring his assets and promising to reform across government. But before we take a break, again, let me just say, I just hope President Bouaga is not depending on Bishop Hagar and Bishop Reese to advising on his drugs policies. And I know people will be executed in Liberia with drugs, we're having drugs in their possession. But with that being said, guys, stay with us. We'll take a very brief break. When we come back, we'll get into the asset declaration. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for staying with us here on the Liberia Radio and Television Network. We are halfway in the show, and if you're still with us, make sure that you're following the network, like, share, subscribe, and we are getting into another conversation on the president of Liberia declaring his assets today and also promising to reform across government. And not just that, he also mandated the auditing of 3 institutions. That is the Central Bank of Liberia, the EPS, and the NSA. So again, Liberians have been applauding the president for taking that step, even though some say that it's long overdue. He should have done it before getting into office. But some are applauding the president of Liberia for declaring his asset and setting that example for all officials of government. On the other hand, some are heavily criticizing him as though he declares his assets, he did not publish it to the public. So it's just a mere fiasco. Some say it's just a mere bluff. It's a show. It's a showmanship. So, but let's talk about it. Let me start with my co-host, Mr. Tagbe, and then I will take you, Bishop Hagar, and then Bishop Reese. Let's have the conversation. Is this legit? Can the Liberian people actually depend on this and say, yes, this is actually the beginning of something good? So let's know how much you come in government with, so we can avoid what happened in the previous administration.
So Derek, do you want to, is it a rhetorical question, or you want to answer that?
Just give us your position on that. I'm not.
My position on that is the first thing is that Joseph Walker is supposed to declare assets even before taking office. That what a code of conduct demands. It's one of the things people are criticizing for. Upon taking office or before taking office. I think it's one of those the code of conduct. But the code of conduct, the part I read said you must declare asset before taking office. And besides that, after you declare your asset, like Joseph Walker did today or yesterday, the publication will not come immediately. I think they declare the assets in a couple of days. They publish, because they have to take time to select a newspapers in which is something to publish them. So sometimes the publication takes some little time.
Thank you very much, Bishop Hagar. Let's hear you on the asset declaration.
Well, we want to commend the president, His Excellency Joseph Njomoh Boakai, for showing leadership and being a man of integrity. He has finally declared asset to the relevant government institution and then given the mandate to receive the asset declarations. So we thank the president for being exemplary in his grand people. You know, it's like the parable to say you want dance. Then when they start playing music, they say, oh, the music not fun. If you want to dance, when they play music, just dance. That's what I would say. Everybody say, oh, that man declare his asset. He have gone to declare the asset, then you having problem with it. He has declared the asset. I shared a video where you guys were interviewed with Senator Lieutenant Maguire. He said the asset declaration, it required time because you have to get a lawyer, your farm, accountant have to come to appraise the value. It got to be compared with all the different factors. So it's not just automatic. Now, a lot of things, the man been around for almost 80 years. He worked in government for so many years. He have different assets. He got to be able to evaluate all those assets. And don't just come with a piece of paper. What he presented today, it was a comprehensive asset that incorporate everything. It will be published in the newspaper. Let Liberian people see for themselves that this man, even though he said our brother, doesn't mean that he was completely a failure in life. He has some things. So after he leave the presidency, his answer will be compared to what he declared today. Then we'll know whether he told Liberian people money or not. It's not like when George Weah never had anything. He start building houses all over the place, stealing Liberian people money and people want to praise him. No.
Thank you, bro.
Jerry, let me ask Mr. Hagar a question. Do you agree with his critics who said that he violated the code of conduct, which requires that you declare assets before taking power or taking your seat?
Well, I said to you people the other day,
it's a yes or no question, Bishop Hagar.
There is the law and the spirit. There are institutions. Listen to me.
Bishop Hagar, I thought you would have said yes or no.
You have been protect me.
Okay, go ahead.
The police are there to enforce I don't respect the traffic law, if there is no police to hold me accountable, you can't hold me accountable. They have the Liberian Anti-Corruption Institution who's supposed to, listen, the law says you must declare your asset before you take power.
Bishop Hager, have you read the code of conduct? Bishop Hager, have you read the code of conduct?
David.
You did. What does it say about asset declaration?
Bishop Hager knows what it says about asset declaration.
But I'm saying to you, it is institutions are supposed to mandate you giving your asset. If they never did it, you can't hold him responsible. Now that he's president, he made a time to go and declare an asset. We need to applaud him for that.
Bishop Hager, before I go to Bishop Reeves, I wanted for you to give a commit to an answer here. If I have to use an example, I will. Okay? The code of conduct states that he should declare his assets before the first day in office. Say you let using America. In America here, when they give you traffic ticket, they say you must pay on the 15th. You pay on the 17th or 18th. Do you think you violated that law? The answer is yes. I'm asking you, like brother, and they say before you enter office, you must declare your assets. President Bouaka been in office almost a month now. He just earlier yesterday or earlier today for the diaspora declared his assets. Let me repeat the question. Let me repeat the question David asked. Do you think, based on what I just said in the code of conduct, do you think President Bouaka violated that code of conduct?
I would say no. They say pay the money in the bank that's already received the money when not ready. Then who will hold responsible?
Again, before I come to you, Bishop Reeves, if you were President George, former President George Weah, that had done exactly what Bouaka did, do you think he would have violated the Constitution, the code of conduct?
Yes.
So the law only applies to John Weah and not Joseph Bouaka.
I'm not saying that.
It's what you said.
That's what you said.
My logic.
No, that's what you said.
Joseph Yuma Bouaka was ready and prepared to declare an asset, but the institution that's supposed to receive the asset was not ready, so you can't hold him responsible.
Mr. Reeves, talk to us about the asset declaration.
So before I answer the asset declaration, I want to make something very clear to you, Mr. Derek. When we spoke about this whole drug business, my point was not focused on execution. My point was focused on the legislature coming up with strong drug laws. And I must reiterate, you live in America, so you have no idea about the danger that this thing has caused in this country and how it is going down faster than you can imagine. I'm here. I know how, and we are only 5 million, and the thing is taking us down the slope. The legislature need to come up with strong drug laws to save Liberia and rescue Liberia from where we are going. If it would mean that the people will come together and say execution, so shall it be. If it will stop it, fine. But my main point is not execution. Now, let's talk about the president. My first answer to the question about whether he violated is yes, he did. According to the code of conduct, he should have given his asset declaration before he took office. However, comparatively, looking at where we're coming from, I would just use this to say it is better late than never. Because our last government, they didn't do anything like that. I think it was only 1 or 2 people who did it. All right. I know the vice president did her asset declaration. I know that for a fact. Okay, but the president asset declaration, I don't know anything about it. But Joseph Newman Boyka is late, but at least he came out to do it. That is a step forward. Did he violate? Yes, he did. There must have been reasons why. I don't know. But is it okay that he has given it now? Yes. It's better late, but at least we know going forward now, the president has declared his assets, so we know what it is.
Thank you.
Okay.
With that, let me ask this question though, and let me point to the LSTC or the Facebook post of Waka Asset Declaration, as far as him publishing it to the making it public and making it saying giving it to the public. Now, a commenter said under that post that asking the LSCC to publish his assets. And the LSCC responded to that comment. A CSC, the Liberal Anti-Corruption Commission, responding to this comment and say there is no law that requires us to publish a public official declaration. The public official can do so if he or she chooses to. Now, I wish we had a lawyer on the show to clarify that, to set that legal checkpoint. But why isn't President Boyka publishing his assets to the public? I know Bishop Hagan mentioned it earlier that he eventually going to put it in the newspaper, but why didn't he do so today? The Liberian people see him declaring your assets, but they have no idea what's in that yellow folder that he presented to the LSCC earlier yesterday. Bishop Hagan, if you want to respond to that.
Well, listen, y'all want to rush everything. And as I was declared yesterday, it was given to the relevant authority. The same person that declared it as he had not to have, it will be published in the newspaper. Why you want to be running like that? Stop running ahead of yourself.
So, Bishop Hagan, when will he publish it, Bishop Hagan?
Very soon. Very, very soon.
How soon is this soon?
Never.
And you're a journalist there, when we're ready to publish it, you see it on the newspaper.
Do you think he's ever going to make it and publish it to the public, Bishop?
Oh, you want me to tell you everything that Joseph Boyka going to be doing now? No, come and let you know. I said very soon, you will see it in the newspaper. They will give it to the LSCC. What will stop us from publishing it? We'll publish it. We'll publish it in 5 different newspapers. You have access to it.
No, Bishop Hagan, just to correct this. I don't know about the rest of David, Bishop Reeves, or the Hazunas, but me personally, what I want is for you to say, oh, we'll get on the president back for him to make the access public. I don't want you to give us promises, because tomorrow again we'll hold you to it. Tomorrow you give us time.
Bishop Hagan, one of the ardent supporters of Ambassador Joseph Newman Boyka. The asset declaration I've been campaigning, I've been telling everybody, my president going to be very transparent with this. We're going to muscle us pressure. We're going to make sure we talk to the relevant people. The assets that he declared to be published in more than 5 newspapers. What else you want? You want us to publish it on Focus on Africa? Anywhere you want us to publish it, we'll publish it there for you to see.
Thank you. And just lastly, before we take a break and then take the closing remark, he mandated the auditing of the focus on the Central Bank of Liberia. During his SONA, the figure he called did not align with what the Central Bank or governor say was in the government account. What do you say to that, Bishop Hagan?
What did I say about what?
The figure he called at the State of the Nation address did not align with what the Central Bank governor says is in the government account. And now he's calling on for the Central Bank, among other institutions, to be audited.
Oh, yeah.
Is that...
Listen. You say you have 40 million.
Mm-hmm.
And you show me 20 million. And I say I saw 20 million. You say, no, that 40 million. If I see the other 20 million, you want me to say I saw it? What the president said was what he saw. The bank said, oh, what will show you is different from what is in the bank. Let's get a difference now about being audited. Simple. So Joseph Boaga, one day offer you will take 20 million, where you will go to 20 million. The man say he saw 20 million there. You say 40 million there. If 40 million there, you only show me 20 million there. Where the other 20 million gone? So we need to know.
I don't mean to insinuate that Waka people did it, but we from the inauguration, we can almost tell that it's possible there can be a foul play early on. But again, that's a discussion for another day, guys. If you're watching us,
we just lost in one day time. What are you talking about? You have to be serious, man.
Okay, can I say something to that?
Yes, please.
Okay, so for me, I when it comes to the assets declaration being made public, I cannot emphatically just say that Joseph Nima Burger is going to do that, because I don't know that he's going to do it. And I'm not saying he's not going to do it, but I don't want to sit on the show and tell you he's going to do it in more than five papers, and it comes out that he didn't do it. He will say Bishop Reed lied to us. So I don't want to own up to that stigma. So I will also pray that the president will make it public so that people's hearts can lay down. All right.
Bishop,
Number two.
Go ahead.
Number two. Every president that is in power rely on the people of the institution to give them information to be to be publicized. So I believe George Weah people gave him the information about 40 million. I believe President Boyka also asked them for what was there, and they gave him that information. And so if the two numbers are conflicting, and the president comes out to say, listen, since they say I am lying based on what information I got, let's launch an audit. By the time you launch that audit, you will really get to know what the whole story was. And we will follow this thing to the teeth until we see it come out. All right. So I think he made the right move to go for an audit of the central bank. That's the first place to start, so that whether it's an oversight, whether it's a lie, or whatever it is, by authorizing an audit will cause the Liberian people to gain confidence in his leadership. So I think it's a good move.
Thank you very much, and I also support that, thinking that it is a good move, and I think he should continue doing that across all government ministry, because all truth be told, the last administration was a disaster. So I think auditing needs to be done on day one and read through the 6 years. Go ahead, Bishop.
Just to a point. A lot of people don't understand why he's citing audit for EPS and NSA. But I can tell you for a fact, okay, if I'm not sure of something, I will tell you I'm not sure. But if I'm sure of something, I will tell you. During our last government, there was a lot of money that passed through NSA, EPS, the security sector. Let me put it for that matter. A lot of money was funneled through the security sector. And so I think it's an excellent move of the president now to issue an audit in the security sector, because those are the places where people use, if they wanted to take any kind of money, they say for security reasons. And so most of the money that passed through security, you cannot account for it. So now, by issuing that, that's another smart move. Okay? If it's going to be made public, we want to know that. But let them audit those strategic areas. The Liberian people will gain confidence in his leadership.
Thank you very much, Bishop.
I just wanted to make a particular point quickly. You guys, journalists, David, you didn't say anything about this, because the public work minister Destiny, during his confirmation hearing, said that the road fund is completely a disaster. The money that was in the road fund was diverted in millions of dollars. David, I'm going to please work on that story because it's very, very important. Tomorrow they'll say, oh, they left money there. What happened to the road fund? He made it very clear that nothing is there. The people diverted the money completely. I wanted to make them know. The people stole all the road fund. John, we are in finance. They ate all the road fund. They ate all the money. They even somewhere in Europe right now, Fwatse. All the birds.
Bishop Hagar, you can't come up like that. No. Bishop Hagar, you can't be so emphatic like that.
All right, thank you. Thank you, guys. Let's take a break. When we come back, we'll ask you guys for your closing statement, and then we'll draw the curtain to this episode. But again, stay with us. We'll be here right after the break. This is where the production thing's supposed to be on again.
What happened to us in there?
The money finished for ARSTN.
Let's guys, again, we're live on Facebook and YouTube. Make sure that you're following us there, and make sure you're following the network. That is the Liberia Radio and Television Network. Will come on Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern time, and also we're in Liberia at 12 midnight or 1 a.m. or to bring you this show every Thursday. But for now, we are at the very end of the show, and so let's take a break. And when we come back, we will bring you our icebreaker, and then we will bring you the closing remark, the closing statement from our panelists tonight. So now, let's take a break, and we'll see you right after the break.
Martha Tomle, owner of Matisia Natural Hair Salon, located on 4405 Chestnut Street. We are specializing in locks, natural hair, braids, and etc. Call us for all your natural hair needs. You can reach out at 267-703-2330. If you have pictures or videos you want to send us, you can send it to 267-224-0693.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for staying with us here on the Liberia Radio and Television Network. If this is your first time, the Liberia Radio and Television Network is a local media institution right here in Northeast Philadelphia, and we also have our office open in Liberia for service as well. LRTN is proud to present episode 5, season 5 of the Hard Zone. We are at the very end of this episode. So thank you for staying with us. And we just have our icebreaker, and then we'll have our panelists give you their closing remark on this episode. And for the icebreaker tonight, we announced in the opening stage of the beginning part of the show, the African Cup of Nations final will be on Sunday. The Elephants of Ivory Coast, La Côte d'Ivoire, will be taking on the Super Eagles of Nigeria. So again, I'd like to ask you guys for your prediction. Who do you think is going to lift the African Cup of Nations 2023? I'd like to start with you, Bishop Reeves, and then I'll take Bishop Hagar and then Mr. Takbe.
Unfortunately, I have not watched any of the games, so I can't really say, between Nigeria and Cote d'Ivoire. I would just
who would you want to win?
Well, I will go for Nigeria.
Nigeria,
and okay. It's only based on their track records. That's what I'm going off of. I've not seen the team this time. I've not seen the Elephants, but based on their track record, I will go for Nigeria.
Okay, Nigeria, Bishop Hager. I already know what you're
So
going to say.
for over 15 years of my life, I spent in a beautiful country like Cote d'Ivoire. And I love Liberia, but I also love Cote d'Ivoire from the depth of my heart. Ivory Coast in the African Cup of Nations, nobody thought they were going to make it. It just by the special grace of God, they were given the privilege or opportunity to go for even the quarterfinal when Morocco won the game. So they came from a far way, and today they are in the final. I believe God brought them there for a purpose. And I'm praying, Nigeria, I love you. But this time, man, Ivory Coast got to win that cup. We got to eat a chicken in it. We got to celebrate it chicken in that cup. I love my Nigerian brothers. I really, really do from my heart. But this time, if Ivory Coast does not win this competition, then it will be very heartbroken. The whole nation, I spoke to Prince Abidjan today. The whole nation is on fire for the final on Sunday.
Thank you very much.
Happy. Yeah.
Do you have a score in mind?
What? Maybe 1-0 because Nigeria has a very good team. And if Ivory Coast managed to keep Nigeria at bay for the first half, second half, if the game stays 0-0, Ivory Coast will win 1-0.
Mr. Tagwe, you're muted.
Yeah.
Yes. You're still muted.
I think okay. Derek, I support my prediction is that Nigeria will beat Ivory Coast.
Thank you. And
what are you, an enemy of progress?
No, I mean, I'll have to go with Bishop Hager on this one because I've been following the African Cup of Nations very closely. And there is no one more deserving of that trophy right now than Ivory Coast. I mean,
yes.
Derek, not surprising because you got your uncle. So whatever.
Have you been following the African Cup of Nations though? Because Ivory Coast literally qualified from third place. That's now a traditional place to qualify to the next stage from. They qualified from there, and they were almost out of that tournament in the semifinal against or what's the country name? They did it twice in the dying minute.
Yeah, Senegal.
They against Senegal, right? They came from in the dying minute, they equalized, went to extra time, and then in the dying minute again, they won that tournament to get to the final. So the role they took to come to this African Cup of Nations, it will be a disaster if they don't win it. I just think they are more deserving of the trophy this edition of the African Cup of Nations. And on top of that, the team Africa has right now, Nigeria has been very fortunate. Most of the team they've played to get to the final. I'm not or trying to disrespect them or say anything bad about them. But when you're looking at the quality in the squad, I don't think there will be any match. My prediction will be Ivory Coast will win that game more than 2-0. But again,
that's the reason why I couldn't really say because I have not watched any of the games. And I will always want to make my prediction, not because I love the team, but because of the skill that the team would exhibit. So if I had seen any of the game, then I would be able to tell you Ivory Coast or Nigeria. But just because of the fact, the history of Nigeria, that's why I chose them. But I've not seen them this time around playing.
Yes, when Ivory Coast.
I just wanted to say something. You saw since they've been playing the African Cup of Nations, you have been hearing from the journalists, the most organized. You saw those stadiums from Koroko, Boaké, Saint Petro, all over. You saw how they can be measured to any European stadium. You saw, they have public transit. Buses, and the place is so beautiful, man. Africa is proud of Africa. I'm telling you. The infrastructure, my man, is just excellent.
Thank you very much, guys. And now let's get your closing remark. Let me start with Bishop Reese.
And then Bishop Hager already gave me a closing remark.
Well, like always, it's been a pleasure coming on the Hard Zone, and it's a platform where you can express yourself. It's a platform where you can agree to disagree or disagree to agree. It's a platform where we want to bring out the facts, the truth. So I've really enjoyed myself being on the Hard Zone, and my desire is to see that Liberia and America will watch this program, to be able to bring bring information and to the public, so that they can have a place where they can go if they want sound information. And I thank God for you, Derek, for David, Bishop Hagar, and all the other panelists who've been coming on. And I strongly believe in my heart that LRTN will soon become a household name.
Thank you very much, Bishop Reese. Now let's hear from you, Bishop Hagar.
Well, we want to thank God for our president, Joseph Yuma Boaga, for exhibiting leadership and the number of people he's been appointing. We thank God for that, and we pray that God will continue giving grace. I want to talk to the Liberian people. President Joseph Yuma Boaga has nothing to gain but to do the best for the Liberian people. He came there on a mission to rescue Liberia. We call upon you, Unity Party. We call upon you, all of the collaborating political party. Please give Ambassador Joseph Yuma, he's the president for the next 6 years, give him a chance to follow his agenda. Let him do what he wants to do for the Liberian people. And to all the little small citizens, and to the 1%er, those that did not win even more than 1%, you can't tell the Liberian people elected. The Liberian people elected Joseph Yuma Boaga. Your 1%, keep it yet. The 99% have voted for Joseph. You have to certify the Liberian people. You start criticizing. You only got 1%, less than 1%. And you still want to criticize? Be serious now. We got to talk about how we move the nation. Thank you.
Yeah. You know, I know
you just let it be divisive. That's all you like to do.
And I was about to say the same thing. Your closing remark was great until you started whole divisive.
Divisive, yes. You just like to be controversial and divisive.
Why would you assume that anyone that criticizes the administration, they're part of the 1%? Why would you assume that?
The 1%?
So just because I support a United Party,
the 1%, they can't stand it. The 1%, according to the 1%, I'm making t-shirt for them. The 1% can't control the 99%.
Well,
I thought this is supposed to be Liberians now. We are all Liberians coming together.
Yeah, but why they continue to criticize my old man? They only got 1%. I would know them.
How about you?
But yeah, the same people criticizing the old man from the inside, putting pressure on him so he can put crazy people over there just because y'all want to eat, just because y'all want more of the same, just because y'all want how you call it, y'all suffer, so they should put you inside. Y'all change your mind about this thing here. One Liberia, one country, one nation, under God, indivisible, for liberty and justice for all. Amen.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Just Bishop Reeves.
I'm driving you away from giving that old man high blood pressure. Let the old man run the country. Leave alone.
George, let's draw the curtain to this episode. Bishop Hagar, I'll just close with it. How about you be a good winner? You and this man trying to fight. You're not dragging, you beat him. Now instead of you giving the man water to go take shower to get clean again, now you putting salt on his scars. How about just be a good winner? Just you've already won the elections. It's time for you. No longer Unity Party. You literally the government of Liberia. Just govern for everyone.
Stop slinging mud.
For the 8% or anything. It's just the government of Liberia now. Until we go back to the election.
Amen.
But thank you guys for
Everybody have a wonderful evening. God bless.
David, thank you so much for serving as the co-host, Bishop Reeves, Bishop Hagar, and more importantly, to all of you that are continuing to support this program by watching us. We'd like to say thank you, and don't forget to join us next Thursday, same time, the same network. Make sure you keep the notification on for the LRT and the Hard Zone. We'll be back with season 6, episode 5 next week. But until then, please do have yourself a pleasant good night.
Sweet, sweet, casa olivo. Now for go alone. Sweet, sweet, casa olivo. Now for go alone. We take it from Peter today, boy. We take it from you tomorrow, Papa. Ay, ay, ay. Take it from Mary today, matter. We take it from you tomorrow, Mama. Aye. You pay your tax, I pay my tax. You pay your bills, I pay my bills. We don't know where the money go. We don't see where the money go. Coco Lioko, Coco Lioko. Coco Lioko, chicken the crow for day. See, Coco, Kako, Kako, Kako na water. Coco, Kako, Kako, Kako na water. Popo ride, oh, Popo ride.